Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing a Magic Origins Swiss draft. Open Pyromancer's Goggles. I don't think this card's worth anything, right? It's worth 2 tickets. Just kind of funny. I mean, it's an interesting card. I wish it interacted with more in the set. Works with like Flame Javelin, works with Ravaging Blaze. I mean, we could try it. It's also kind of pricey. It is worth 2 tickets, though, and this is a Swiss draft. We could try it because it's interesting. Otherwise, it's an easy removal spell. I think we'll give it a chance. It's worth 2 tickets, and if it pans out, that'd be sweet. If it doesn't, whatever. All right, Colossus is an amazing card, so I think we're just going to follow up with that. There is really nothing in red I care about. Champion, I guess. But, yeah, Lizard and Bloodlust aren't going to do it. I think it's an easy Colossus. It's a great card. So, okay. Let's see if we can just rare draft. Let's make a deck of rares. Does anybody remember that deck I played against in... What set was it? I think it was Khans of Tarkir that I believe had... It must have been 13 rares in it. It was unbelievable. Yeah, and thinking back, it definitely was Khans of Tarkir. And, oh my god, it was unbelievable. It was like every single card the guy played was a rare. It was crazy. And then past a Thopter Spy Network. Okay. This is the real deal here. We are making the rare dot deck. 2 people passed it? What do they take over it? This, I mean, the only time you take something over it is in pack 3 when you're not blue and you have 0 artifacts. Yeah, I mean, Thopter Spy Network, 100%. Not even close. Unbelievable. Let's take all the rares. Let's just keep going. What do we got that I actually care about here? There's no artifacts. There's... Honestly, it could actually be Sigil of the Empty Throne. That's probably greedy. Like, I don't have any enchantments either. And there's actually good green cards. Like, I might just want to take Llanowar Empath. Because it's a great card. And it lets me continue down the Outland Colossus plan. And potentially get into green-blue, which you guys know is my favorite color combination. It's probably Empath here. I mean, there's upside to Sigil because it's a rare. But I think we're just taking Empath. Yeah, we're going to take Empath. I got greedy and checked the price of it, but there was no reason to do that. It's not worth anything. Okay. Let's, I mean, we could take an artifact here. I don't really like these artifacts enough to do that. Dragon Fodder works with Pyromancer's Goggles, but I think Goggles is going to take a backseat to Thopter Spy Network. Water Courser versus Clash of Wills is an actual question. I mean, there is Angel's Tomb, which is pretty good with Spy Network. Actually, that's insane with Spy Network, isn't it? You get to, every turn, get a 1/1 and then smash for 3 and draw a card, at least. That's pretty cool. Guess we'll try it. I never play Angel's Tomb, but... I passed legitimately good cards for it, so let's hope that pans out. I hate Scrapskin Drake. I don't really like Sidearm, even though it does work for the Spy Network. But maybe it's more exciting than... No, I think we find Sidearms later. Let's take the Recluse. Let's get a... This card is really nice for buying us time to get our, you know, high-value cards online. Alright, I guess we take an Owl. Nothing crazy. I think Goggles is gone at this point. Although, I'd be willing to abandon green before blue, just because I think Spy Network is more powerful than Outland Colossus, probably. Do you have to turn this? Oh, nice. You don't even have to turn it into a creature. So if your opponent... you know, has removal that you're worried about for creatures. You just have Angel's Tomb as your Adopter Spy Network generator. Let's take Gather the Pack. Got a couple creatures I wouldn't mind finding. Nothing else in here I care about either. Get on that bonded construct plan. Probably more, well, Warhorn is pretty awesome with Adopter Spy Network too, isn't it? But bonded construct's an actual, well, that's, I don't know actually. Warhorn's pretty awesome with Adopter Spy Network. All of them become 2/1s when they attack. But bonded construct can draw us a card if it connects. Usually I err towards creatures in the case of stuff like Warhorn. I'm going to take the construct. I think it's actually more main deckable in this format because of its blocking capabilities. I do think Warhorn is cool with Spy Network, but so is construct. They're both going to be useful. All right, we'll take a second owl, even though not terribly excited about it. All right, Might of the Mask is a great card. There's Epiphany. I plan on going pretty deep on artifacts, or hoping to, but we're still going to take Might. Might's a great card. All right, I guess we can take Counter or Send to Sleep. Both pretty underwhelming. Guess we go Send to Sleep. Jam Day Tome, sure. It's an artifact. Alright, well, got an interesting start here. Interesting start. Hangerback Walker. With Adopter Spy Network? What is this, Christmas? It's amazing. Alright, taking 10 tickets and a card that synergizes amazingly well with our deck. There's also an Invocation, a Claustrophobia, both of which are good too, but obviously no Hangerback Walker, huh? Awesome. Alright, Meteorite. Not exciting enough. I think we'd probably go Void Mage because the card's really good. Not an artifact, as it turns out, but still a good card. There's Empath, too. I think Void Mage is better. It's debatable. I actually think they're probably even. But I like that Void Mage, that I already have an Empath, so Void Mage kind of fits a little bit better in my mind. Responder? Yeah, sure. Synergizes well with our deck and is a strong card on its own. I like it. This deck's cool. This deck is cool. Alright. I think we just slam a Jessian Thief here. I mean, I'm all in on the artifact plan, but not when it's Bonded Construct versus Jessian Thief. Thief's too good. And there really is just nothing else even worth considering in here, so awesome pickup for us. Throwing Knife? That's too good to pass up for our deck. I do think Rox Maulers is a great card too, but we're kind of good on finishers already, and Throwing Knife is just too fitting. And actually, blue-green, you know, kind of has a problem when it comes to hard removal, so I really like the Throwing Knife here. I think we're not likely to play Bone to Ash. I also think we're not likely to play Jam Day Tome. Wow. Somberwald Alpha and Wild Instincts. That's tough, actually. What's our removal right now? I probably don't want to play Send to Sleep either. I'll consider it if I need it, but our removal is Might of the Mask Combat Trick, Throwing Knife, well, not really Combat Trick, but not hard removal, Separatist Void Mage. To be honest, I kind of need this Wild Instincts, but Somberwald Alpha is so good, and we already have good cards with it in, like, Jessian Thief, and basically any of our Thofters. Outland Colossus. It's like insane with Colossus. I think we got to take Alpha. It just synergizes already so well with cards in our deck. I do love Wild Instincts too, though, and I think there's a strong argument for Instincts. All right, Titanic Growth. Otherwise, Guardians. How many artifacts we rocking right now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I was kind of hoping to pick up a Aeronaut or two, but we might wheel like a Construct. I'd go deep on Constructs in this deck. All right, let's take Titanic Growth. It's just an insane card. Wins games. Do we want... I mean, I'm trying to think how good Guardians is. It's not a good card in a vacuum, but maybe it is the right card for this deck. It just seems so much significantly worse than Titanic Growth. I'm going to take the Titanic Growth here. All right, immediately rewarded with the Guardians again, but actually I'm going to take a Leaf Gilder. Leaf Gilder is just too good for our deck too, with all these 4-drops especially. And getting Outland Colossus early is just too important. All right, I'm going to take Watercourser over Timberpack Wolf. I think it's a better card. All right, Empath Tabled. We're going to take that over Meteorite. I mean, I understand we're not super deep again on artifacts, but we're deep enough to make a Thopter Spy Network work. And I think we can manage to pick up a couple more. We can take the Maritime Guard for sideboard. Bone Dash number 2. Bone Dash number 3. We'll let our opponent have a slug. I think 5 artifacts is like bare minimum. I'd like 3 more artifacts in this deck, if possible. I don't think we're playing Messenger, but we'll take it. I mean, we do have 3 elves, but I could have 10 elves, and I'd still probably wouldn't be super happy about Sylvan Messenger. That's probably not true. If I had 8 elves, including Messenger, I'd feel okay about it. That's like the minimum, though. 3 is totally unacceptable. Wild Instincts now versus the second Alpha. Alpha's pretty good. Alpha is pretty good, but not having any removal now, I think I'm gonna take the Instincts this time. There's also Vile, which is really good with Spy Network, but I think actually Instincts is really good for this deck since we're just so removal light. I think Gather the Pack's probably not likely to make it. But I mean, I wouldn't mind the second Alpha, but let's take the Instincts now. Let's diversify. Valor on Wardens is amazing. I like Undercity Troll too. Probably Wardens though. I don't have any other renown though. No, I do. Outland Colossus. I think Undercity Troll is legitimately an amazing card too, but I think I'd still rather have the Wardens. There's also Rune Servitor. I mean, I get it. I want the artifact sub-theme, but I also want good cards. Jeez. The choices run deep. I could take Alchemist Vial. I could take Instincts number 2. We're a little bit deep on 4-drops already, and they're all good. So maybe we can pass on the Instincts here. All right. I could take Vial here. Not feel great about it, but feel fine. Feeds our game plan. Cantrips. Hope to Wheel, Courser, Force Mage. Instincts is probably not going to happen, but like I said, we have enough 4-drops. We'll take the Vial here, sure. There's a chance the Vial table too. Mighty the Masses number 2. Screeching Scab. Deep Sea Terror. Probably Scab. We don't actually have a lot of early game going on, so let's take it. I like Mighty the Masses too, though. Geez, a lot of good black cards. There's a Brawler's Plate. I think we take Wilds. Never been a big Nissa's Pilgrimage fan. All right, Automaton is actually... Well, Automaton synergizes better. Watercourser is just a way better card. And I am still pretty 4-drop heavy. I'm not even that happy about double Ring Warden Owl. Maybe I do... Maybe I cut Owl for Automaton. It's another 4-drop, but cutting a 5-drop for a 4-drop makes it so it doesn't matter. Watercourser is a very good card, though. I love Watercourser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 current. Ooh, maybe we go one more. Let's go another artifact here. So we'll cut an Owl, I think, for a Automaton. I do want the artifact sub-theme to pay off. We're taking worse cards, basically, for a little bit of a enough of a sub-theme where I'm not worried about, you know, getting artifacts. Scab Goliath's pretty awesome. And I do have Gather the Pack, too. It's something to consider. I'd play Goliath over Ring Warden now. There's a Timberpack Wolf, too, but Goliath's so good. All right, we're taking Aeronaut here. Slamming Aeronaut, as a matter of fact. It's exactly what we want. It's more exciting for us than an automaton for sure. We don't need a second Scab Goliath. I think we probably cut... there's an unexciting card in here somewhere. We'll figure it out, but we're definitely playing Aeronaut. All right, we did table a Vial. I think we take it. It cantrips. Force Mage is good with Wardens. There's Negate for sideboard. I think we'd take Force Mage. Kind of like that. Ooh, we did table Instincts? All right. This deck is real. This deck is the real deal. And we've got some real choices to make here. We've got some actual choices to make. I think we might cut back on Combat Tricks. Is that right, though? Maybe we cut Recluse. I like that it buys time, but I think we've just got way better stuff going on. Although the thing about Recluse is it's amazing with Wild Instincts. Excuse me. Yeah, we've got some real choices to make here. The thing is, Angel's Tomb is basically only for beating down. You can't just like mess around with a Angel's Tomb if you're not beating down, you know? All right, we got to make some choices. Let's separate stuff. I really don't want to cut artifacts, but am I going to have to? I don't know. Construct's staying. All of our we need all the early game we can get. Maybe we do cut Combat Tricks. We can cut creatures, though, for sure. I just don't know which ones yet, since I like them all. Force Mage is typically unexciting. This deck doesn't seem like it needs it. I'm probably more willing to cut Titanic Growth than Might of the Masses, because we have a lot of creatures. All right. I probably can do that. Like I said, I want to keep as many art. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's more than enough. That's enough artifacts for sure. I don't mind cutting Recluse. Like I said, it's good with Wild Instincts, but we've got other stuff to do with Wild Instincts, and Recluse is typically a little bit underwhelming. And then we only have to make one more cut too, which I like. I could cut the Scab Goliath. Between Outland Colossus, Majoring Responder, and sitting on a Thopter Spy Network, I feel like we have enough. I feel like we have enough late game. And Hangerback Walker. Yeah, I mean, our deck's got enough ways to win. Do we really want to mess around with a Scab Goliath? It's a great card, but don't we have better things going on? Like, I could cut a Vial for it, and I'd still have 8 artifacts, which is enough for Thopter Spy Network. Double Vial, like, it's not like Vial's... I could just go cut Might of the Masses, have no Combat Tricks. How much do I love that, though? I don't love that, but it makes our deck synergies work better, and 16 creatures is more than enough to resolve a Scab Goliath in the mid to late game. I do like a 1-mana Combat Trick, though, especially in a deck that potentially spits out a million dudes. Like, Might of the Masses seems like it could be insane in here. I probably can't cut Might. I think not with Hangerback Walker and Thopter Spy Network. That just doesn't seem right. But cutting Scab Goliath seems wrong, too. I could cut Angel's Tomb. I did like that I spit out a token and I get a 3/3 that attacks, though. That's pretty awesome. It's guaranteed activation every turn with Thopter Spy Network. That synergy is just very cool. I don't really like cutting an Empath either, because they play so well. Maybe, though, I could cut it because it slightly lowers the curve. Automaton is probably the most underwhelming. Maybe Angel's Tomb. I actually think Construct's important for this deck for early blocks, because our deck shines in the mid to late game. This is a really difficult choice. Now, I honestly don't know what the right answer for the cut is. I still like Throwing Knife because it doubles as removal, as well as an activation for Thopter Spy Network. Like, basically, I just don't want to cut an artifact. is what it boils down to. Maybe I do just cut an empath then. I still have plenty of card advantage and fat threats anyway, like Valeron Wardens draws card. I do love an empath, but I think everything else is... I don't want to cut Void Mage because I like the diversity, and we're low on removal. Alright, I think I'm going to cut an empath. I don't absolutely know for a fact if that's right, but it does help our curve, and it lets me play 3 like really bomb creatures on top of Spy Network. And 15 creatures is more than enough to get Scab Goliath when you need them. Like, granted, we're not going to play Gather the Pack, but it's only because we got better things going on. Alright, this deck's very good. And we definitely have enough artifacts. We got an Evolving Wilds, which we're going to play. Split up the mana base. 8-8 split, sure. I think I can get on board with that. So 9 with the Evolving Wilds, 9 of each. This deck's cool. No doubt about it. This deck is very cool. A lot of 4-drops, though. But I think that's okay. Vials should help find lands. Yeah, I think this is it. So, alright. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.